right, guys. So something different again. So we're gonna do something a little bit different today. I did a trucking video earlier, and my feet were starting to bother me. So this is kind of some of the stuff that I do when I'm not trucking, just due to feet or just wanted to play something else. So this demo came out. So we're in Car Mechanic Simulator 2026. This is a demo. This is not full release. There's no release date yet of this game. The demo was released on March 30th of this year's, which is 2026. Um, and I have played on it actually a few different times. They actually had a couple of updates. So every time they had an update, I was going in and checking out what the updates did, if anything. And there was little bug fixes and things like that. Um, so what you're seeing here in the background is obviously not real game footage. This is somebody actually working on a real vehicle. It's just part of their video setup, which is pretty cool looking, because there's a lot of work that goes into working on these vehicles. Um, so we're going to do a little playthrough on the demo here. I just kind of wanted to show the game because I'm actually had a lot of fun messing with it. It was kind of short in my opinion. I mean, it's not super short. I mean, if you look at each one of my deals here, I went through pretty much the whole thing. And um, the second one I had 4 hours in. And the reason why, if you see by this picture here, I removed all these decorations out of curiosity. I actually was messing with tools. Um, so we might do a video on that later on, but I just kind of wanted to play around here a little bit. So we're going to start a new one so you kind of see what we're doing here. And I'm just going to call this one YouTube because, well, we're on YouTube, right? I think we are. And we'll do that. Now with the demo, we're only able to pick the demo mode here. There's actually an easy mode, an expert, there's a sandbox, and then a full custom. The cool thing with the custom, from what I read, is you can change a lot of different stuff. You can determine whether or not you want the packages automatically picked up, basically put in your pocket. Um, you can increase your inventory space. There's all kind of different things that you can change amongst this stuff here, and I'm hoping this isn't too loud. um, I'm kind of looking at my OBS, and I know I'm talking louder than this, but I know that can probably get annoying. But we can't change none of that, so we're gonna start, and we have to actually hold down either enter or I did mouse button to start this. I've already played this before, so I'm not going to do the tutorial. It'll pop up and ask if I want to do the tutorial. Just kind of like a quick overview. The tutorial teaches you the basics of the game. There's a mechanic opedia, so it's kind of like an encyclopedia for mechanics. It talks about the 3 jobs we can do, and we can even work on our own vehicle as well. So that's what's kind of cool. We have our own vehicle. So we're going to start game, and I'm going to do no on the tutorial because I have played this, so I've already. There we go. So there's an outside view of our shop. Now, we'll admit, I'll be upfront with you guys. I tried to change like the overlay and stuff. There's no photo mode in here. I was going to do like a nice proper picture, but there is no photo mode in this wheel. And I even went to the options, and there's no photo mode here. I even looked through here, could not find nothing in here. And this is the encyclopedia, basically. So it talks about how things work. It appears that some of the pictures may or may not be working. I mean, it looks like they're working. It just seems like it stays in the same picture. But this is something that can be read through and stuff. And I've read through most of it. There's a lot of changes in here. So anyhow, if you start with the tutorial, you cannot even mess with this truck. This is your truck. You own this. And this truck is it's a jalopy. It's ugly for a start. But we'll get to messing with that here in a little bit. I want to talk about some of the features in this game. So right now, there's no option to even look at the map, and there is a map border around us. You can't see it right now. We can get in the truck in a minute. We can only do basically a block. We can go up and to the left, and basically just does a big block, circle around the block for testing if you want to do it that way. There is a test track available. It's located on that side street to the right. One thing I thought was kind of cool is, so to go to barn finds or junkyards or anything like that, And I'm going to assume this, I'm not 100% sure. Um, you can drive your truck there or your vehicle, whatever you own, but I'm pretty sure you can get another vehicle over time, you know. There's also telephone booths, and in here, and this isn't available. I mean, it is, but it's not available in demo. But we can take a taxi, and a taxi will come pick us up and to go to the junkyard, parking lot, the racetrack, the rally track, which just sounds interesting, the car auctions, the car salon, the barns, and there's an airport track, which is probably kind of like some of the other tracks. So unfortunately in demo, we cannot use the taxi at all, but I thought this was kind of cool that they have this here. In demo, we don't have to worry about gas, but when full version releases, there will be gas at, well, your vehicle will use gas, basically. So in the event that you run out of gas, you're supposed to be able to call a tow truck if you need it. Supposed to be able to call a tow truck if your vehicle cannot get back no matter what. I'm not sure about if you ran out of fuel, but if you broke down, then sure. Hold on 1 minute, I gotta clear my throat. Okay, I apologize for that. My throat's being something. So for a start, what we're going to do is we're going to check out the shop. So I'm going to start by, go over here. We're going to run for a minute. Pretty much all the doors are openable. You can leave them open. This would be where your customers come in. And obviously you're not going to see that. The customers coming in, you're not going to see employees, at least not in the demo. The vending machine doesn't seem to work. It's just kind of there. This door, I don't believe it opened. No, it does not. But this is kind of like the waiting area, customer entrance, whatever you want to call it. This door here is a, this is your service path or your test path. So it tests your brakes and suspension components. Also does wheel alignments and headlight alignment. I think that's about it in here. And this door is openable. So you just go up and hit open. A little noisy. Open it up. I'm gonna go ahead and leave it open because we're gonna be using this here shortly. If we go back through here, you got this door that goes out back. That road goes around this building over here. So you can come back here and look around. I mean, I guess I could park my pickup back there if I wanted to. We're not gonna be going back out there, so we're gonna shut that back. And then into our main shop here. I'm gonna leave that door open. We'll go ahead and start with the upstairs real quick. So in this game, if you notice at the top right under my money of 50,000 credits, coin, money, what are we gonna call it? You see there's a time, and that time is ticking up. It's currently 13:12 and it's ticking upwards. Parts deliveries, if you do instant, they automatically show up even after hours. But if it's during the business days, it'll show up in the next 2 or 3 hours. And if you wait till after, I think it's 5 or 6, it won't show up until the next morning at 8 a.m. Also, too, a lot of your jobs take time to complete. So sometimes it's best to sleep, and that's what they give you up here. That's when we came up here. There's a couch here, or I call it a bed, but you can put in how many hours you want to sleep. You can do a full 12 hours. This is changeable in that setting that I was talking about when you start your game. The only time you're not able to sleep in the demo is if you're under the effects of caffeine. You can buy a coffee machine and it makes you hyper basically. And it makes it to where you walk faster, you do work faster, you know, the screwing of the bolts and things like that. So you do a lot of that stuff faster. So, and we got a couple more doors. This one doesn't do anything, and neither does this one. I'm not really sure why on those 2 doors. We'll continue down this back side. So we have our basic tools, a lot of stuff scattered everywhere. That's kind of useless, but you got your spring puller here that we've used in the other iterations of the game, our tire changer, and our wheel balancer. Many games have gotten a change on these. Right now, you can upgrade the tool, number 1. You can also do balance. Now, I don't have anything on me to balance with, but if you were to balance a tire, You have two options. You can either play the mini game and get it done faster, or you can just let it do it by itself and it takes longer. So it's up to you. And then we have our oil drain thing. I'm gonna get back to some of these tools here later. And then we have this door that goes out here, some parking. Now this is where we pick up our parts. This is where they deliver our parts to. We got to come back here and get it. That was one feature I was talking about that you could change where it automatically just goes in your inventory. Kind of a tool bench area over here. This is not for repairing anything. This is all aesthetics or looks, but all this can be removed. I got rid of a lot of this stuff. I got tired of all the boxes and garbage looking everywhere. But we can open this door. This goes back out where the truck is. And then we have our garage doors that we can open as well on top of this final door down here. I'll go ahead and open it real quick. Under here is kind of the same thing. It's just aesthetics. But there's a lot of things you can change in here. I'll go ahead and open this door because that goes through the test path. Another thing that I thought was pretty cool. Number one, we have our doors open. And what's kind of cool is I can hit Q on my keyboard and it goes away pretty quick. But then I can hit 2 and now we can open up gate 1, 2, and then 3. And I like that. We can have all these doors open. It just feels, you know, refreshing in a way versus what a lot of the old car iterations, car mechanic iterations, you just felt like you were trapped inside of a shop and you couldn't look outside except for through these little solar panels, you know. So it just makes it a lot better. And that's just kind of a quick tour of the inside of the shop and stuff. Now, one thing I thought was pretty cool is when you move a lot of certain equipment, you place it wherever you want. So if I don't like it there, say I want it over here, boom, that's new storage. But you physically move it. And if you get a vehicle parked here, and I can demonstrate, we'll see that in a little bit, it'll put the green arrows where it goes. So I'm gonna kind of show some of that stuff before we even do our first call. So for right now, we're gonna go out here and we're gonna grab this truck. And when you get this truck, it, let's see, all right, so when you walk up to it, you can either open the door and obviously close it. So you can do this and then you can just sit down in it. And then but you have to, you know, do this so you can drive it. There is gearbox modes in here. It defaults at automatic, but you can do it in manual mode. If I remember right, C changed the camera views. There's a couple of views here you can pick from. I like this outside view. And of course I'm driving on keyboard. As you can see, this thing is just driving all kind of weird. It's pulling every direction in the world. It just pulls to right like crazy. At first I wondered why it was doing that and why the game had it that way. But before we start messing with that, I'm going to show you this. So there is this test path here. You pull in here and it turns green, and then get your vehicle stopped, and then you can hit E. You got to hold down E. And you got to follow the track. Now we're facing the wrong direction, so you got to stay on this track. And basically what it does is it's going to help determine, you know, what's wrong with your vehicle, just like as if you took it out to a regular track. So this is just your like around the block test. I'm sure there are other tests that you can do as well. It basically told us that that's wrong with our brakes, and then hit Z and we can look at our suspension, and there's actually two lists. Using E, you can go back and Q and E to go back and forth between those. That pretty much does that. As you can see, there's this blue lock border that's around here, and so that keeps you inside this border. It won't let you go through it. You can't go through that. So before we mess with the vehicle, it's getting late in the day, so we're not going to order no parts for this thing anyhow. And if we get a job, by the time we start figuring things out and order parts, we're going to have to sleep anyway. So the test path, or the diagnostic path, what they're calling it, is you can pull up right here and to activate the test. So, and that's holding down E again. And by doing that, you still got to do all the driving. You got to pull this thing up and get it just right. And it can be a little temperamental because you're pulling it up on rollers. So trying to get it in that right spot, and then you hold down X to do the brakes, and it would tell you to hold the brakes. So it's a little bit more into it like it was than it was before. This will do the suspension. You can do this in any order you want. I hit the right button, sorry about that. So this is going to adjust the front suspension. As you can see, it's giving us our list on the left for what's wrong with our truck. It takes it a minute to do what it's got to do. Then we got to pull up again. X for the brakes again. And we'll pull up and do our rear suspension. I just like how you're more into it doing this. You're not just pulling up and doing a little but not much. And that concludes the vehicle test path. So what we're going to do is we're going to back out of here. So now we would have our list here by going through our categories. See, and that, you know, shows all of our parts and stuff like that. I don't like how the vehicle keeps rolling. That's kind of a nuisance, but it is what it is. I'm going to back out of here real quick. And you can only got so much throttle while you're in there till you clear it. And now we're clear. I'm gonna pull back in because I'm gonna show you something else you can do while you're in here. So you can just pull in. I don't think you got to be anywhere particular, and then have to get out of the vehicle, and we'll shut the door. So you can do your headlight alignment while you're here. Since there's no car nearby, maybe I need to move this. Yeah, you got to put it in front of the vehicle. Now we can use it. Forgot about that. So now we can just use our arrow keys to AWSD keys to do that, and get our headlights lined up. I know this is not important for this here, but that. And what's cool is I can take this and I can put this in a different, I can put this out here. So I could set up an alignment bay out here somewhere. Say I want it here. I'm just going to leave it there for now. I've already carried it there, but that can be moved. And then stuff like lights, I think you can move the lights around. Well, you can just turn them off and on. It's still cool. Chair can definitely get moved. No, it can be removed. Right. So wheel alignment works pretty much the same as it did before. Select this one. Go to this one. Clicking it right in the middle doesn't seem to like it. If you go more to here, it seems to like it better. That one's fine. All right, so now it's all aligned, and our headlights are done too. The reason I show you all this is now we're going to take this thing, drive it. Now we're going to go for another quick ride around the block, and you'll see how much different this thing drives now. See how it's going straight? I mean, just one little stupid thing, you know, what was alignment. I mean, no keyboard there, other than throttle, obviously, but now we're just going to park this bad boy back here. Get out of it, leave it there for now. Put our door. You can do all kind of stuff no matter where you're at, working on different things. So I can actually get in here and I can work on this as much as I want, or just, you know, anything I want to do in theory. I just like how this works differently. On yourself, you have your regular inventory, which would be I. I'll be leaving my stuff sorting to arrival, but you can also, it's on all, but you can sort between the different variations of stuff. P brings up your tablet for your store. So this is completely different, and there's a couple of neat things I like. Now, number one, they got rid of the electronics shop. I hated that over there. I always had to go to the electronics shop to buy fuses and starter and things like that. You buy that at the shop you're buying your car parts at. I'm sorry, but you just do. You got your main shop. Main shop is every single thing, which is pretty cool. So this is going to be all your parts that's available to you. And I'm sure there's more parts that they haven't put on here because this is just a demo, obviously. Engine shop, this is going to be specifically for the vehicle that you are working on or for a specific vehicle period. So for our truck, for example, this is the motor it has in it, and this is the motor variation, and then these are all the parts for just that motor that I can change out. This is vehicle specific parts. It doesn't include stuff like you know, because the rings are actually a special kind. The con rods or piston is a special kind, you know, versus the way it used to be. Same thing with the valve push rods, because if we'll hit escape a couple of times and we'll go look at this. Well, actually, we can just do it the same car. We'll look at this engine and this engine here. If we go down here, and it's got the same number for the piston rings and stuff, but it's got a different ignition coil, obviously. You can go through there and do it that way. The body shop is going to be just body parts, just like before. This will be vehicle specific, and you got a couple of different variants of stuff you can do. So that also includes your body tuning shop from back before. I haven't seen anything as far as engine tuning, so I'm waiting to see about that. So you got your wheel store, and I noticed that this also has the tires in it. So that kind of makes it nice that they're all in one space. I mean, you would go to probably a tire shop and buy a new wheel if you needed to, or the dealer. Interior shop is still the same. You got your regular interior stuff. Like I said, this will get expanded more as they release the final version. Plates is kind of the same thing, and I noticed that they have pretty much all the US states here. Let me look around here for just a minute here. New Hampshire, New Mexico. I thought I saw a country for a second. Regular plates was District of Columbia. So I'm only seeing US plates here, United States. There's South Dakota. I was curious if they, because I hadn't even really looked, but we can also do customized plates. You can do default, you can do just a blank plate, you can do a full custom. And I really haven't messed with this yet. Decorations and tools. Now this is a whole different department. This is something new. Now part of this is decoration, and part of it's your actual shop tools. So we're going to put this on the decoration first. So this is going to be all your decor that you can do inside your shop, and you know, for like the tables and stuff like that. And what's cool is you take this stuff down in your shop and say you don't want to use it, you can sell it and get the money for it. I mean, it's probably not full price, but these are all decorations. If we go into tools, these are tools that we can use in our shop. So our charger, our brake lathe. And when you buy these, you can place these any place that you want to place this stuff. Just like I did with that oil container. Same thing with the computers. So you can put this stuff anywhere you want in the shop. And here's where our repair benches come into play. Our scrap salvage machine. I did learn a little bit on the scrap salvage. And so with the repaired tables, I know for the parts, but I'm not 100% sure on the body, you have to have scrap from the scrap machine to be able to run those. And you're supposed to be able to buy scrap. I haven't looked for the scrap yet, but you're supposed to be able to buy the scrap from the store menu. And I think you can also find scrap when you go to junkyards and barn finds and stuff to purchase. Same thing with the upgrade table. It's going to use scrap like it did in 21. And then we've already got a couple of these tools. Anything with the green wrench and screwdriver on it, we own. Well, I say that. Maybe I'm wrong on that. Okay, that's the one that's selected. Okay, never mind. I had that wrong. And then you got your wooden cabinets for your warehouse. So there's two different variants of these. I don't think they matter much in size. And there's that. We'll get back to that in a little bit. Then we have a used parts market. Now, so far what I've noticed in here, this is all just body parts. You can buy used body parts. It shows you the color, the condition of it, and on all that stuff. And from what I understand, yeah, this refreshes every, well, it refreshes in 42 hours. So probably I would say over 48 hours, this probably gets a new list. So if you're wanting to save a little bit of money on a build, instead of buying a new door, you know, you could keep checking back here. Depends upon your funds and how long you want to wait for a part to show up. All right, sorry about that. I got me a drink. And that's pretty much here in the shop as far as the store side of it. Now, warehouses, has completely changed. What you get, and you can buy, there's different variations of these. These are your warehouses. These hold, this holds 200. My inventory only holds 75, so there's a limit on these. That's one thing people have complained about, is that limit. So hoping to see some changes in that. It looks like we might be able to turn off some of that with the sandbox mode stuff, but we'll just kind of see how it goes through. Oddly, I have 59 XP. I just noticed that. But let me see, what else was there that I was wanting to talk about? When you're looking at parts, it's still the same thing for saving them to your shopping list. Oh, that's the other thing, the shopping list. Now, this is probably going to have to be easier to explain, but if we go into our tablet and look at our main shop, tab, tabbing back and forth changes from here to here. And then you can hit space to show your shopping list. And then you can click on items in your shopping list. And as you purchase those items, so you click on a part and say it was this ABS module, then you click on the ABS module and you add it. It scratches the line off in the shopping list that it's in your cart. And then eventually, once you, once it's either delivered here or you've picked it up from the parts delivery spot out front or out back, it gets completely removed from your shopping list. Now, the only thing I don't like about it is this game is supposed to be multiplayer when it gets to full release. Currently, it's single player only. And if you're working on a vehicle and somebody else is working on a vehicle and you're both ordering parts, that could get confusing. And I'm not sure how that part is going to work yet. But that's pretty much how that's going to kind of go. So other than that, you can look at your inventory. Obviously, we looked at tablet. Options are pretty much the same. A lot of your settings are pretty similar. I think these are going to get expanded a little bit more as the full release comes out, but we can adjust audios. I turned music off, obviously, because of recording. You can change your what you want your stuff in. I just left it metric. You can turn autosave off if you want. There's all kind of different stuff you can change, and I think this gets expanded more with the sandbox stuff. And then you got your accessibility stuff. So now we're going to do this one on the next video. So I'm probably going to record a video after this one. But we're going to go ahead and take, well, we're not going to take this job. This will be the job that'll be coming up in the next video. And it's going to be the Luxor Streamliner MK3, which is a 1996 model. You know, that's got its usual storyline, just like the story missions. This is basically a story mission. This is a story feature is what this is called. And then we'll be able to take the order when we're ready to take it. So they just got some stuff they want me to check over and do a whole change, basically. And they have other tasks they want me to do. But it's what's nice is it shows you the percentage up front of what they want the parts to be replaced at. You know, they've gotten to where more and more you don't have to use 100% good parts to, you know, to do repairs unless it says so. But so anyways, guys, with that entailed, we're almost at the 30-minute mark here. So I think the best thing to do is to go ahead and shut this video off and start another one. And on the next one, we'll go ahead and pick that car up to repair. And I'll show you how that works, and we'll do that job. And you'll be able to see a little bit more of kind of what's going on. So be looking for that video here soon. I hope you enjoyed, guys, and I'll catch you in the next one. We'll see ya.